Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of NRL Unpopular Opinions. I'm Ryan Cook, and joining me back from a bit of a spell, it's Jharal.
I'm back, baby! Bitches! No, it's really good to be back. Man, Maryborough.
What a town.
What a shit.
There's a lot going on.
I will say this, man. There's so respect. Like when we go to any country towns, they're the most beautiful people ever. Went to Gympie as well. Great people out there. They appreciate when the Brisbane Broncos come out to places like that. Thoroughly enjoyed it, boys. But I'm telling you what, very excited to be back in the studio. I missed it last week.
We missed you.
Yeah, honestly, I can't believe how much. And I listened to you, and you were all pricks.
Well,
I listened to it.
Did you like my impersonation of you?
Yeah. It was very quiet for a long time. Rich, you need to be better at that. You can't just leave it go silent. At least put some voices in or something. Anyway, I don't want to critique you too much, but you were bad. It's good for me to be back.
Joining me like he does every week, it's Oscar Panafex.
Yeah, keen to discuss some off-field footy stuff.
Lots to talk about.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly what we're talking about. This is going to be good.
Bit of juice and a bit of drama.
I like
Feels like the old MySpace Bebo days back in high school. Someone posts something on their wall
Bit
and
of
everyone's
goss.
talking about it the next day.
Little Ask FM situation.
Yes.
We love a good feud, and back from South Australia, he's been taking in a lot of AFL over the last few days.
sick.
Yeah.
Liam Fogarty.
Hello, boys. I'm back.
Yeah.
And I didn't watch a heap of real footy over the weekend. So once again, you're going to have to carry the rugby league chat on this rugby league show that I'm on.
Like we always do.
Yeah,
For the
exactly.
first time, yeah.
It won't be the last time either.
How was the Barossa Valley? How was our good mate Dylan from the AFL show?
He's in a bit of trouble, isn't he?
He's in a lot of
A
trouble.
little bit of trouble. You boys probably haven't seen any of that, but
Never was.
Doesn't
Never will.
surprise me.
he,
Dill's landed himself in hot water again.
he's,
What's he gone and done now?
So I didn't see any of it firsthand.
Oh my God.
But he's gotten himself into like the big function room at the AFL in the like Don Bradman stand every night of gather round and has just been a menace. And apparently he's wore out his welcome with all of probably the most important people in AFL, I'm willing to say.
That's probably the best news we've ever heard.
Yeah.
And with Magic Round around the corner, I would say Peter Volandis take a leaf out of the AFL's book and let this prick nowhere.
Well,
Let him nowhere.
Well said.
Jharal, I remember last year.
Valley-wide lockout.
Magic
Round,
Round.
you were quite kind and you let him into the inner circles.
I
We were
did.
Upstairs at Caxton with a lot of the Fox
Matty Johns.
boys.
Yeah, there was a lot of shape getting thrown
personal
around.
friends.
Brad Cox,
Yep.
the singer who was up there, and geez, he was a punner.
Well, I think Matt Nable almost knocked him out.
Yeah, Matt Nable, good
personal
man.
friend, Matt Nable.
Good
Yeah.
man, Matt Nable, but not on that day.
Nat Mabel.
Nat Nable,
Yeah,
probably
so
one of my favourite.
we got off the plane from Adelaide yesterday, and I'd gotten a lot of messages. Apparently, Dill was mentioned on AFL radio a fair bit.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, this is the second time, so
Usually-
that's a bad thing.
Oh, okay. All right.
Usually, you'd be pretty pumped to be talked about in those circles, but I
But for
think
the company,
Dylan from Neds is a bit of a dirty word in AFL circles at the moment, and poor Jack and I are associated with him, so I don't think
was he even pissed? Like, was he drunk?
he
Oh
probably
no!
Did he?
and
I was going to
just
say if he was sober.
hanging around like a bad smell with a lot of very important
This is so
people.
funny. This is funny.
It is funny.
Should we invite him to Magic Round and
No!
piss more people off?
No! Gosh, man. Worst day of our lives.
Talking about
Drama.
scuffles, drama.
Yeah.
Spencer versus Jonathan Thurston right back on Friday night. Hate me, lad. I'm Eetswa with that, but don't be fake.
Oh my days.
Is this a complete non-story? Which side are you fellas on?
I don't know if it's a non-story. I took a few takes out of it over the weekend, and I thought about it a lot. I was like, all right, you can understand. They haven't played us, and he hasn't played us since round one last year, right?
Yep.
So he's been holding a grudge for a long time. Spencer Leniu has. Right now, when with all reports, Jonathan Thurston had every right to talk about what he spoke about on air. He gets paid for an opinion, so I think that's fine on that part. You could argue in the off season when this happened with Ez
Yep.
The other part that they weren't around to have these conversations, if you understand what I'm saying. So there was no instance for him to have an opinion right at the time.
There was no platform for Thurston to say anything.
For Deadly to have those chats. So I can understand why Spencer is angry. Like I get it. Like I'm a human being, and I understand he's going to hold a grudge. And the way and the manner he did it is probably could have been better. Like if you do something like this, maybe do it in a bit more of a private, in setting. But because he's a fronty who's fiery and he's aggressive and just come off beating the Broncos at Suncorp Stadium, and then spots JT just standing over there, look, I think he's gone about it the wrong way. I actually don't have a problem with him being upset about his situation, because I get it, because look, I think he's in a sense he's probably paid his dues. Like, he's done the time. When they said that he was getting 9 weeks, look, I'm fully against racism and all that, but I think Spencer has done his time, and maybe there was probably conversations that it could have been a little bit longer, but whatever's been given to him, he has done the time, and that's that. The other thing is, I think with the JT stuff, he probably should have just done it. That's because I knew there was probably going to be an instance in some conversation at some stage that this was going to come up. Not only on this podcast, but in a conversation in the rugby league in general. But I think that's where it sits. If you're going to have a full argument with JT, probably do it privately, pull him aside and go, look, I don't appreciate this. Then they could have, because I think as a player, as JT, if I'm in JT's shoes, I'm crapping myself. The other reason why I'm crapping myself is because I don't have a chance to rebuttal on a footy field.
He's got to be professional.
I'm a retired footy player now, and I've got an opinion. So if you do that to JT while he's playing footy, you better hope that in 2-3 weeks' time you can back it up on the field, because he's going to destroy you left, right and centre when he's a ball player or kicking game. And that's how that's going to work. Or his mates are going to stick up for him. Where Deadly doesn't have that opportunity now. JT doesn't have that opportunity. So that's what I've got to say about it. I think he's got every right to be angry, but he's gone about it the wrong way.
I think Lenu's clearly pre-planned that.
Oh, 100.
He's envisioned that scenario months in advance. Yeah. So that was his intent the whole time.
And I think Trent Robinson probably should have, pulled him aside. Maybe he has. Maybe he's taken him afterwards and said probably wrong place, wrong time. But I'm hearing reports, and all the reports I've heard is people around that situation. It was intense, man. It was pretty intense. So, well, not really intense, but pretty intense. But I think that you've got to be very careful, because now does Spencer Leniu put himself in a situation where he could get suspended more?
Well, do you want the NRL to step in?
Well, I don't know. Because if they don't, then does this happen to every time someone who's on TV or radio, they get an opportunity to have criticism of players where they get paid to, which might not be the right thing to say every time, but does that give the right for players to go and approach him like this? I don't think it does.
Well, I don't know if this is right, but apparently the NRL can't step in unless Thurston complains.
Yeah, and he's not going to. No, I don't think Jonathan Thurston's going to complain.
I think it's the Roosters' job to deal with it, whatever that looks like. I mean, Jharal, you just said Spencer served his time, and that's that. That's true. But then fucking brings it up again.
Oh, correct.
That's what
well, that's the thing. That's where he's wrong with it.
A fully grown man, one of the biggest, baddest, toughest dudes in the NRL, who plays 10 minute stints off the bench either side of halftime every week, right? Comes out and targets one of the most beloved figures in the game over an incident that happened 12 to 18 months ago. Yeah. And then says he's Eetswa about it afterwards on Instagram. Grow up, please.
I think really? he's definitely in the wrong.
I'm so over it.
But I think he's obviously in the wrong.
He's cut, man. It's something you would expect to see in park footy in under 16s. Yeah. Someone hit on my girlfriend 3 weeks ago at a house party, and now I'm versing him on the weekend in Tyree in Group 3 rugby league.
We'll go get him.
And I'm going to go bash him. Yeah. But then I'll post on Instagram saying it's Eetswa afterwards.
Do you think then he's done this for his own brand because he's getting a bit irrelevant? You think?
I don't even think is he intelligent enough to do that shit?
I don't think. I think I'm giving him too much credit.
Oh man, I don't know.
Are you painting him as a villain? This is
I think so. He's always been seen, at least by Queenslanders, as
leaning into it,
a villain. And he's like, well, if that's what you already think of me, it, I'm going to go all the way.
But-
in.
I don't
like-
think he's calculated enough to do
but
that.
like I
eh?
said, if he's, you know what,
I
if he feels like he's got the rights, and I think he, you know, like he's angry, so I'm like, yeah, that's fine if you're angry, mate, but go do it in a private setting.
and do it when it happens.
Yeah, do it in a
Yeah.
private setting and go, hey, I didn't appreciate those words you said about me. You know, I'm not this, and yes, I'm doing my time for this, but he's gone around about it the wrong way. He's just gone about it the wrong way, and I don't know if this is going to sit well with, you know, that people that follow the game at the moment. Like, it's just, but like I said, does it give the right for other players to go do this? And it shouldn't.
Yeah.
And I hope it doesn't.
Because we slam boys here all the time. I don't want to be
It doesn't
chased
bother
up.
me. I don't.
I think the you can say that. I don't want them coming after me.
Hello, Taylor, mate.
Oh, that's funny, man. Yeah, that's good. It's
What
good
I do
getting
know is I want him playing for the Blues this year.
Yeah, I was
Just
gonna ask.
for storylines. I don't give a shit about how he plays.
I don't think he's
Put
playing
him-
for the Blues,
No
mate.
chance.
Yeah.
But please,
Yeah.
please.
It's a shame the Roosters aren't playing in North Queensland this year too. That,
It's a shame Jharal Waerea-Hargreaves is still not there. We'll talk about him
We will.
later in the show, but he's the kind of dude that would have pulled a Spencer into line 12 months ago when he got in trouble and you know, helped him
Yeah.
grow from those experiences and learn from them. And yeah, I'm sure there'll be some conversations in Bondi.
Just do, if you're going to do that, just do it in private, mate. Like,
100%.
and do it, yeah, correct. Like you said, do it when it happened, because then it's done. But it's a ball of like anger.
Did
It's been
anything-
for 12 months. Like,
That's a long time to
Long
stew
time
on
to be
it.
stewing on
And Thurston's
something.
not aware of that whole time. I mean, yeah, it's just very childish, unfortunately.
Did anything happen like that in your playing days, Jharal? Was there anyone sort of getting up at the media about anything like that in private or?
nah, not really. I mean, look, I didn't like a lot of the things, if that's what you're asking, I didn't like
Yeah.
a lot of the things that journos said about me or my teammates, but I'm not going to go, if I did have a conversation with the journo, it was away from anything.
Yeah.
And I would always say, this is off the record, but I don't appreciate how you speak about this person or speak about that person. And that's fine, because that, they probably know when they write stuff that's going to happen at some stage.
Yeah.
But you just got to go around it about it. I mean, I was only 19, 20 doing that. So, I mean, you're right, Oscar. He's got to grow up a little bit, and there's better ways to do it. And being aggressive and the way he approached JT was just not the right way.
Just puts a target on your back too.
Yeah.
It's like screaming, "Don't look at me!" Like everyone's gonna start looking at you now. It's like
Big time.
Yep.
you can't go after JT. That's
no,
Yeah.
future immortal.
Yeah.
Don't you dare! Queensland hates you.
Don't even look at him.
Pick your targets, Spence.
Let's move on to the other big headline. Lachlan Galvin knocking back a huge contract offer from the West
Insane.
Tigers, set to depart the club
Yeah.
at season's end, citing that there's no faith in Benji's coaching as the reason. The Tigers have sort of saved face in their press release yesterday by kind of spinning it in a way that they made this decision, which, I don't know, that's up
Do you
for
reckon,
debate.
do you reckon that's what they were doing, spinning it, or was it just them saying, hey, we've done this, he said no, so piss him off?
Potentially, yeah.
That's how I read it.
Yeah.
I read it as in, he's made a decision. He's decided that he wants to go and look at other places, and they've got every right to go, all right, well, if you're going to go do that, we're just going to keep doing what we do, and we're not going to worry about you then. So we're going to put out that we're not going to buy into this. You can go do your own thing, and we'll get someone else.
Yep.
That's what it sounded like, and I read. So, I mean, there's a lot of these times we talk about players and who's got the upper leg in these situations, but I've got to say, I've got to praise the West Tigers for moving on. That's basically what they've done. They haven't done anything, no malice. They've just gone, we're going to move on, and we're going to worry about our future in other ways. And they've got more bigger fish to fry. They haven't played finals footy since 2011. So I think that's the right thing for them to do, and now they can focus on trying to go get someone or keeping focus in the players that are there.
If you're Benji, sorry, you go.
No, I was just saying keeping. They got Latu Finu there.
Yeah, well, correct.
Who they're very high on. They've got Adam Dewey in the system. Talon De Silva's coming along really nicely in the dummy half position. So they've got players there. It's just, I mean, these quotes that come out, like, where does that quote come from?
With no faith in
that
Benji.
Lockie doesn't have faith in his coach.
If you don't trust Benji to turn you into a good halfback, I don't really know who you trust.
Well,
Yeah, true.
That could just be managers. That could be playing games, so they know that they're out definitely and indefinitely. Though, yeah, that's just people playing games.
Yeah.
I don't think you would ever hear that from
No,
him.
that's what I meant. Like the fact that that's going to be the quote that's passed around group chats and put on headlines for the next. I mean, far out. We're 18 months away.
Yeah.
That's the thing that rattles me the most. I'm 100% with Jharal. I think Shane Richardson and the Tigers put forward a superb offer, the best offer. And then when he said no, they said, sweet, we're not budging, so we'll move on. I think that's all good. But to do it now so publicly, that's what's surprising to me. And if I was a Tigers fan, that's what I would be most upset about. You're sitting 7th. You started the season 3-3.
Yeah.
It's the first time there's been false starts over the last few seasons where we've thought they might be coming good, but there are genuine signs here that they're on the up, that they're improving.
Yep.
And then 7 weeks into the season, you find out that your youngest, hottest prospect is going to be gone in 18 months' time. Like, fuck, that's a heavy blow.
It's
Like,
a big distraction too.
What do they do now? And I've read an article this morning. Fanua Bole's liked an Instagram post criticising Galvin's decision, and teammates Galvin's wary of Luai's close relationship with Marshall, and teammates want Latu Fainu or Dewey to play fight.
Like, they're all just like
it's all batshit, but it's distractions, right?
It is a
said.
distraction. It is a distraction.
So if you are Benji, are you playing Fainu this week?
I don't think he's available, but no, they're in a position now where they can genuinely compete for a finals position this year. They've got to play their best team, don't they?
And I think the other thing is with Benji, I think he's got to be careful about how he reacts to this situation, right? So if he does this and there is no drama with him and Lachlan Galvin, but then he starts not picking players, can you imagine what other players are going to think in the team? So you've got to be...
What message does it send?
What message does it send?
Yep.
You've got to be smart. The first thing that should be in your eyes is win footy games. Like that's what Benji should be thinking. And as much as... And
a good coach would make the whole squad be on that same page as well. But it's not as easy as doing that.
It's not as easy, but that's your first thought process, and you've got to move forward with that, because once you lose the room, it's really hard to get it back as a coach, and especially with Benji being a young coach. Unfortunately, with I don't want to say, but it's harder to keep those rooms when you are a younger coach.
It's his first real test.
Correct. It's his first test. So I know what a type of person he is. He's a great person. So hopefully he can keep that on the straight and narrow.
Is he worth Dylan Brown money, do you think?
Mate,
not right now,
it's
obviously.
all speculation.
But,
at this
I'd pay him
point.
more than Dylan Brown.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he's
Right
19.
now you would.
He's 19. If you said Rabbitohs can have Dylan Brown or Lachlan Galvin next year for 5 years for $1 million, I'd choose Galvin every day of the week.
Okay.
Every day of the week.
And $1 million is, by the time for everything goes up a little bit more in the next 3 or 4, it's probably a bargain for a halfback at the moment. We've spoke about this on this podcast numerous times, but look at Fogarty right now. Like, he's about to go. There's chances he goes for 1.2 million. And there was 2 years ago.
No, that's over 2 years.
Yeah,
Manly offered Fog 550 or 600 or something.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go.
That's like half as much as what he's
half
worth.
as much. Yeah, but he's worth a lot more. Yeah, he's worth a lot more. But even, we were speaking a year and 2 years ago about Jamal Fogarty going to the Raiders. We didn't think he was worth any money at all. Now the way he's playing his footy, and the way that they're sought out for these halves, he's definitely worth $1 million. So you got to think these young kids. You got to buy in potential. You have to. It's just the way it is, and there's not enough good ones out there.
Where do you think he winds up, just quickly? Because I watched 100% footy last night.
Yeah.
Gus is going to throw the kitchen sink at him.
Yeah.
Parramatta,
I
the
think
Roosters.
Para makes sense to me. He grew up a Parramatta fan. I think he's proper in the blood. I think that's where he's probably trying to go.
And they'll need a half.
Yeah.
It's just,
What's the matter?
I mean, I'm not.
It's Parramatta.
You see, we can't take all these quotes like on face value, right?
No.
If it's true that he doesn't have faith in Benji to make him the best footballer that he can be, then that also rules out Parramatta right now.
Yeah.
Unless he knows
course.
something we don't about Jason Riles, but you're not going to Parramatta if you want to be the best footballer that you can be. If that is what he's looking for, I mean, it's Chooks, Bulldogs, South Sydney will need a 5'8" in 18 months' time.
I'll also say this. I don't think he's looking to make himself or to win a premiership right now. He's chasing cash.
Yeah.
Bro, when you're young, it used to be the total opposite. When I grew up playing footy, it was all about trying to be in a side that'll win a premiership. Now, they're worried about getting the money now and then figuring out, all right, where can I go to win that premiership easier?
Well, nothing's guaranteed.
No, nothing is guaranteed. So he's got to be chasing money.
Well,
it's got to be.
That makes Parramatta more likely.
Yeah, correct.
Hello,
I'm
Where
big
else
brain
is there?
boy over here.
The other bit of player news overnight, Waerea-Hargreaves is hanging them up at the end of the season, end of the Super League season.
Rip.
3 NRL premierships he's set to retire with, aside from being one of the great grubs of the
Crazy.
game. What are you boys going to remember him for?
I love him. Oh, look, there's been times where I've hated him, obviously, when over the years, and he's done those grubby things. But I played with a player who was probably the ultimate grub, Josh Maguire. But I felt safe out there every time I went on the field with Moose. And I think as a player, you want to feel like that with your front rowers, anyone that's in your forward pack. So Moose made us felt, comfortable when we played under 20s, even when he got up and started playing grade. We knew that we could count on him if anything kicked off. Jared Waerea-Hargreaves is the same person. Bit different. He's won 3 premierships. But, I think he'll go down to be one of the greatest Roosters ever. To play the game and forwards.
It's a good shout.
He's done a lot, and he's done a lot wrong as well at times, but he's also done a lot right to put them in positions. I think we speak about this a lot. You need forwards who the other team are afraid of, and Jared Waerea-Hargreaves is one of those players. So, yeah, I got a lot of respect for him as a player. He's from out at Capalaba way, or is that where he's from?
I think so.
Yeah, I think he's from out there. So, another one from Queensland, another one from this area, which
Technically
is great.
Rotorua.
Yeah, technically,
It's close. Kapalaba,
Yeah.
close.
technically. But what a career he's had, and
He's from the
congratulations to Jared. Yeah,
316 NRL games.
crazy.
For
How many's he had over at Hull?
9 at the moment.
So he'll finish up close to 350.
He'll be in the
first
top.
grade
He might be in the
games.
top 10.
Mate,
Put him in the top
33
10.
games for the Kiwis.
Like, as a Rabbitohs supporter, as a kid, I hated Jared Waerea-Hargreaves. My dad talked shit about him, about how he's a grub every week and gets away with this and that and the other. And as I've grown older, like, I'll happily say he's the best front rower that I've watched in terms of his impact on games and his presence, all that stuff that Jharal just talked about. Like, just the longevity as well. I remember a couple of years ago when Easts was shot, he was playing 80 minutes through the middle in consecutive weeks. It was just like, all right. And I think it was the year that he was supposed to have maybe transitioned into a bench role when guys like Lindsay Collins were coming through. He's just stepped up to the plate every single time that club's needed him. That image of him kind of hunched over after levelling Cameron Murray a couple of years ago with blood pissing down his face. He's an iconic NRL player, and he's going to be missed.
Top 30 he is in, the top 30 of
For
all
most
time.
games?
Of all time, but he's only one of 6 front rowers ever in the history to play over 300
There you
games.
go.
Which is when you're playing in the middle, I think it's a bit more. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And with the amount of games he was suspended for.
Correct.
He could have been a 400 gamer.
I wonder how many games he's missed actually.
I'll have to look that up,
we'll have
folks.
to look that. Yeah, I'll see what I can do. I've never seen a bloke crave violence the way that Jared
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
craved violence.
Bloodthirsty.
Yeah.
Jharal, you mentioned Capalaba, so let's keep the attention here in Queensland. Which one of these Queensland teams is actually good? Because the Broncos looked kind of mid in that loss to the Roosters over the weekend.
I think. I think. No, I don't think. I still think the Brisbane Broncos are very well in it. I don't think they're out of it. We've got to be careful around Origin time. We're going to lose a lot of players, so we need to start. I think we need to start adapting to losing players on the field. I don't think that's what the Bronx probably have done the best yet, and that's when we lose someone to 10 in the bin. When you see a side like Melbourne or someone like that do it, they do it a little bit easier. Not easier, but they adapt better. But yeah, I still think the Broncos are well. I mean, the Cowboys, They started off terrible.
3 in a row.
Frauds.
They started off terrible and just went bang, bang, bang. Yeah, I still think the Bronx will go pretty far. We're sitting in third. I don't think there's panic stations yet, and we're only round
definitely
5,
not.
6. Yeah.
For me, it was just our forward
7?
pack.
Oh, he's
didn't
round 7.
Have the impact.
Oh, God.
Brisbane's forward pack just didn't have the impact, and then that normally sets up everything else. The same thing happened against Canberra. Like we got bashed early, shit our pants, and couldn't get anything, and then we were chasing. So I just
That's the blueprint.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
if the boys
it's easier said than done.
Yeah, exactly. I can't do it, but if our forwards don't show up, I think we're normally going to be chasing games.
Yeah.
And I think that's every time, every team that versus Brisbane this year, that's going to be the message to their middles. Go, hey, if we can win the ruck in the first 15, 20 minutes and put some early points on, then that's what we need to do to beat Brisbane. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, they're going to respond this week. Madge pretty much said in the presser that they were physically bullied, which usually gets a response out of middle forward or out of forward.
But you can't be doing that every week.
No,
you can't be performing and then not performing.
You need
consistency.
Contingencies as well.
True, correct.
That's what I was getting to. Is it's gonna be
I mean, we
interesting
look
to see.
and put it this way: like when we play, Jordan Ricky has been like missed. You know, I think he's been a huge miss.
Kick chase
You
is
can
big.
definitely tell he plays huge minutes for us, and I don't think people that was at the start of the season saying we don't even need Jordan Ricky, but I think the fact of the matter is he keeps the side stable.
Yeah.
He defends well. He's not known to doing a lot of stupid stuff, but he does all the very small things correct.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Madge likes. So when did we get back in this
he's
week?
back this week.
Yeah, this week. So he's a big in for us.
Just one before you do, sorry, Ryan. Back to Waerea-Hargreaves, 23 weeks of suspensions
Wow.
over his career.
That's a lot.
That's actually not as many as I thought.
Nah,
it was
me
gonna be.
neither.
That's what
Still a big
that
number.
pushes him
That's a full season of
if
footy.
you,
though.
if you take that out, right, that puts him in probably top 10 easily.
Well, what did he? Yeah, I mean that is not nearly as much. as I thought it was
23
gonna be.
weeks from 32 separate charges.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so I mean, how many
They
years?
were all
He
little
would have
ones.
played what 15 to 20 years, let's say.
Do you think they were all just
So what's
fights?
that? Three? What'd you say? 23.
23.
But
Only
imagine
a couple
now,
of games a year. I was going to guess like 5 to 6 games a year.
But I'll say this: he's probably left at the best time because now the head high's like, it's coming. He's gonna, so touche, Jared.
Let's talk about the Finns really quick. Back-to-back wins over the Titans and Panthers. We saw what a win over the Panthers can do for a team with the Cowboys last week. Looks like the Finns are playing a bit better on attack. Hammer looks engaged again, which is a promising sign. Tom Gilbert back last week was a big inclusion as well.
Back on an edge as well.
Yeah.
Plath in the middle, Gilbert on an edge. That's their best look in the pack, and it showed.
Wolfie's been sort of promising to trust the process. Are we starting to come around on the Finns at all, at least maybe making the 8? They're sitting 14th.
I mean, if you can beat the Penrith Panthers 30-12, I think you got some. There's a
West Tirana would have beaten
there's
last week.
Hey, don't run us down like that.
Respectfully.
Yeah, I just think they've got to go on a run, and I think they've got to be consistent. I'm not going to jump on board the Dolphins bandwagon yet.
Got the Storm this week, so
But-
the run's going to be hard.
Yeah, I think they've just got to stay consistent. If they lose this week and it's a close game, you can probably say, I just think they've got to start playing consistent footy and stay in it. So, yeah, I'm not on their bandwagon yet.
What about the Titans, who looked good 3 weeks ago, and now we're back to basically what we've known about the Titans for the last however many years. Back-to-back losses to the Finns and the Dragons. Dragons just annihilated them on the edges.
Well, it was the perfect. I mean, the Titans got dealt a tough lesson. They put Beaufort out at right centre, which is something that he's done frequently throughout his career. Like, he does a job out there, but it lined up against the best left edge in the comp right now, which is St George in attack. The variation that they play with, usually it's Gutho throwing the last pass there. I think Luciano had 1 assist. Kyle Flanagan had 1 assist. They just pulled him apart. And by the time they moved Fermor back into the back row, they were down by 24 points or something. It was too late. So
I think it just shows how much of an impact Tino has on that
and
team
Tino
as well.
for sure.
Yeah, good shout.
No Tino in that forward pack, and they're just playing
What
from
happened to
behind.
him?
He was
suspended after
that's
the
right.
Dolphins game.
Yeah, so I think it was I think Dragons were always going to win that one with, as
thanks.
Fogg said, Tino out. Yeah, well, I don't know if you knew Tino was out when you
I didn't know he was out. No.
So yeah, I've got Titans and Dolphins. I think they'll be in the same kind of, around about that 10th spot, I
10th,
think.
yep.
And then Cowboys, I don't know. I mean...
Still confident on that wooden spoon?
Mate, if South Sydney up with 10 minutes, Jack Whiten makes that try-saving tackle, gets penalised, Cows score the next set, Cows win. South Sydney should not have been anywhere near winning that game, just like their two previous oppositions were very close in the previous 2 weeks. So, yeah, I'm still not convinced on the Cowboys. But their left edge is pretty good. Jackson Purdue's a player. So you Queenslander? Folks?
Let me cook.
Let me cook. He's excited, probably.
That's in Queens.
From the wooden spoon chat, let's talk some golf because the Masters yesterday.
Oh my God! Please talk golf. I love this. I'm
Sensation.
horny about
The
this.
conclusion to the Masters yesterday, Rory finally completing the Grand Slam.
Wow.
One of the great sports moments.
I thought he blew it.
So did I, because
Oh,
he gets the
yeah.
yips, famously gets the yips, and I was worried about
And that putt, there was no way he should have missed that putt. That was it wasn't that hard.
Purdue's a Queenslander.
Jackson Purdue, Queensland.
Oh, sorry. It wasn't that hard. And you know what? Rose went 6 under yesterday, which is ludicrous on that.
That putty nailed at the end there was.
Oh,
phenomenal.
mate, which is incredible. And I thought to myself, this could be the end of Rory McIlroy. If he lost that like the way he did, it could have been over.
Yeah.
Well, where are you going with this?
Well, look, Fox Sports tweeted out a graphic, I think on Saturday.
Yeah.
Gun NRL golfers, and it's got.
Oh, stop it.
It's got.
I'm not in this.
Yeah, you're not. You're definitely not.
What is your handicap, Jharal?
Oh, my ankle. My ankle.
Carter Gordon.
Oh, yes. Is he an NRL player?
That's not funny.
Question for you, Jharal. Who's the best rugby league player that,
Who do I-
that you've played golf with?
Oh, that I've played golf with.
Or
Oh,
who you think is the best, even?
when did they put it out?
I think this was Saturday. So the handicap, Carter Gordon's number 1, playing off 0. Wade Egan playing off 3.
Wado.
Munster playing off 12. Paps 11. Josh Papali'i 7. That's the most surprising.
Wow.
That's the head scratcher.
Well, I only watch really like the players club, like the boys from the Cows. Like
I was going to say Chad and
yeah, Chad's playing, and he's got plenty of time now. Chad.
He needs to start doing
That's
golfing
hell,
videos
that's stuff.
instead.
That's but yeah, like I think he looks like he's starting to come really good.
Yep.
Chad Townsend. I don't know what he sits. I think he might be at 11 or 12. Is it around that?
Yeah,
I
okay.
think-
have to be, yeah.
yeah, but I think he's coming. He's starting to play. I watch a lot of their content. I enjoy it. But
Watch his game breakdowns.
No, definitely not.
He just
But I'm
watches stuff on
terrible. I'm off 23. But I live on a golf course. My chipping and my putting is only the best thing I do. I get very aggressive. I get very Spencer Leniu when I'm at the tee.
Is that the term for it?
Who's the best you've played with outside of myself, obviously?
Oh man, best rugby league golfer.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I know Rocky was very good when we played.
Rocky was
He
good
is a good
when we
golfer,
played,
yeah.
but I was blind, so I don't really remember the back a little bit. Definitely wasn't Dill because
man.
he was no.
You got to be able to hit the ball. Alistair Lynch playing off 13. Shout out to that.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. The AFL boys go really well.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't even remember. Every time I've played with the footy boys, I just get blind.
Yeah.
So
It's not as
I don't
serious.
really remember. Yeah, it's not
Lynchy
serious.
was terrible when
And
we played the Hackers.
and you know what? It's
that was bad.
and it's every time I play with those boys, it's always an Ambrose, so you're not really serious.
Yeah,
So
true.
you're not playing when you play 1-on-1. Then you got to be. That's boring. You can't drink. So. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Oh, okay. All right,
Okay.
dump it.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Cut that, Rich.
What happened?
No, nothing.
No,
We just thought
yeah.
we'd ask you.
Oh,
And you haven't got it.
we're gonna clip it. We're gonna clip it.
We'll f ourselves.
Yeah, I didn't know where that was going.
Yeah.
All right, boys, we're going to come back and chat last week's multi. You are listening to NRL Unpopular Opinions. We're about to jump into the multi, but first, Oscar, we got to have a serious chat, mate.
Yeah. It's an intervention, isn't it?
You've fallen behind here, buddy.
Yeah.
What happened last week?
Last week I backed the 4-time defending champions against one of the worst defensive outfits
And you
that
got
I've
'em
seen
beat.
to start the year. And I backed them at a safe $1.40-ish, and they got fucking
For
pumped.
$1.42.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
Because we drew the line at
cutoff.
$1.40.
Yeah.
You
So,
snuck
yeah.
in there by 2
We
cents.
called you the greatest mind in rugby league.
You did.
And yeah, we. I got multiple personalities. And you're 2-5.
I'm a piece of shit.
People can change.
I'm a pretender.
Are you getting
Everyone in
worried?
the comments is right.
Yeah.
Who is this guy?
Oh,
Don't know.
have they said that?
Yeah, they've been saying
Why
it.
are my nipples hard?
Talking about me being shit on the punt. It's turning you on.
So we were dead in the water from the get-go with that leg, Jharal. You took the Titans to win
Yeah, I
against the
apologise
Dogs.
as well. Well, I didn't. I totally forgot that Tino Fasuma Aui was not playing. But anyway,
We'll forgive you.
That's okay.
You still got a winning record, which is something only three
What
of
am
us
I
can
on?
say.
What am I on? What am I on?
What's that like?
You're on 4-3. I took the Cows to win, so I'm 5-2 now.
Yep.
Fogs, you had the Storm 13+, easy money, 4-3 as well.
That was up like 20 minutes in,
Yep.
wasn't it? Yeah.
And Oscar 2-5, mate. Got a lift.
Right.
Fight.
That's low. That's bad, isn't it?
That's right. You'll be right.
I'm going to go on a
Long season.
Well, it's
I'm
not-
going to go on an
Positive.
It's not 1-6.
Let's
but,
go,
you know,
let's
Halo
go.
great.
esque run into the final.
I think I only got 2 right last year, so I'm killing it.
It's a low bar. You got the first leg this week, Jharal.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bronx over there, the ditch, and I'm going to go the line -7.5, $1.87 we're getting for the Brisbane Broncos in that, which is juicy, I think, $1.87. So we don't have the greatest record there, but I think we will bounce back. I think they will pack a punch over there in New Zealand in Auckland. Yeah.
Fogs, you are taking a Queensland team as well.
Yeah, shocker. I'm taking the Titans over the Raiders. Tino back. I think the Titans are pretty good for $2.
Is that in Canberra?
No,
No,
it's
no,
it's
not.
on
It's
Gold
the
Coast.
GC,
Oh,
baby.
no.
Yeah,
Actually,
shit. Said last week how bad they are at home.
Yeah. Oh, man. All right. Up the Titans. Up tits. Up tits.
And Oscar, despite your record, you've been so brave this week.
Yeah. Sharks -1.5 alternate line.
What's that, Pat?
What is
Gets
that?
me $1.42, $1.46.
Oh,
okay.
Hold on, is he just making up numbers?
No, just go get over the cutoff.
What happens? What are you willing to do if the Sharks win by a field goal in this game?
Oh, my
And they
God.
don't.
You got to
cover?
get half the tattoo.
If Sharks win by 1 against the fucking Newcastle Knights, I don't know. What do I do?
I don't know.
What do I do?
Mate, well, you're getting
We'll
the
just
worst
hold
thing
you
at the end
down
of the
and
year anyway, so
belt
don't
the
worry
shit
about
out
it.
of you.
We'll
It's
lock
okay.
you in Jarrell's secret cupboard.
Something bad.
That same game, I'm taking the Knights under 16.5. I think that's paying about $1.72. We all know about Newcastle's attack this year. So those 4 legs, we've got the Broncos to cover, Titans to win, Sharks to cover -1.5 alternate, under 16.5
Weird
points for
bet.
the Knights.
Such a weird bet. Honestly, you're an
What's
odd
that
person.
getting us?
You're a real odd person.
$7.47. Where can we find that, Fogs?
You can find that in Ned's open groups. I believe someone will share it. You'll probably find it on a few of our profiles. We'll back it.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll get in there.
Yeah.
We'll get amongst it. $7 is pretty. It's all right.
Throw it on socials. I don't know.
We need another
Where
one
else
up,
do you want
boys.
it?
We need
I mean,
another. We're
listen,
around what? We're around 7 now. What the hell? Where's it going? Stop. God.
Fine.
No, we're just getting closer to Origin.
I know, when it counts.
That's all that matters.
It's all about Origin. We're about to get out of here. Oscar, you got some breaking news for us? Kind of?
Oh, yeah. We were just talking about Galvin before. I just saw a post on Instagram. Apparently, he's going to be dropped this week, and Adam Dewey will play 5'8" for the Tigers. So
We'll soon find out.
remains to be seen. Latu Fanu's out with a hand injury, so I imagine he will probably be their next choice once he's available. But if they decide not to play Galvin, but that's a huge call from Benji and from the Tigers. And I think if that is what happens in the short term, I think we'll see Galvin leave earlier than expected.
Parrot $2.90. You willing to take that on now?
No.
Changing his leg. Anything on this weekend, boys, that you want to shout out?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to shout out the Gooners. We take on Real Madrid, and we're up 3-0 in a second leg. I'll be out there at the Cass watching it on Thursday morning
How good.
at Sparrows.
time's
If we advance on this will be we wouldn't have advanced this far since, I believe, against Barcelona back in 2003. So
Who will you play if you make it through?
yeah, it's we're not sure yet. At this moment, it looks like it's either Inter or Inter Milan, or it could be Paris, because they're up 3-1 in the league against Aston Villa, but it goes to Aston Villa, and Bayern Munich are down to Inter 2-1, and it is at Inter as well. So it's a tough game for both of them, but I don't care who we take. I would like to play Bayern Munich in the final against Harry Kane and just ruin his whole life once again as an Arsenal fan, because he's an ex-Spur. That would be really nice, but it would also be good to watch Paris play Arsenal, both very young sides.
Yep.
So for those two teams to get through to a final would be pretty juicy. Who do we actually? We'll actually probably play Paris. Yeah, in the next leg.
Nice.
That's what it'll be.
Get down to the couch.
So we won't play in the final. Yeah, that's not a meet and
5
greet.
a.m. Thursday.
It's not meet and greet.
Jharal signing. Bring your footy cards down and he'll sign them.
No, I'm going through. I'm going to get there Wednesday night. So don't come up to me. I can tell you that much.
Fogs, anything from you, mate?
Nah, nothing. Shout out Dwayne Bennett.
Yeah.
That'll do me.
Who Dill also met a couple of weeks ago.
Let's stop talking.
That'll do.
Yeah.
Rich, cut the stream. Cut it.
Thanks, lads. We'll be back next week.
See yous.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website